I'd like to take a moment to introduce and thank Wolfgang Hank from Germany, who's been kind enough to meet with us today and take us on a little tour of his workshop. For those of you not familiar with Wolfgang, he has a lot of very interesting projects. Tiffany, our president, had the great pleasure of spending some time with him and some other members of the Germany DeLorean Club when she was over there a couple of years ago. And they've got some really interesting things in their shop. So Wolfgang is going to give us a walkthrough of some of the things he's worked on in the past as well as present. Do not have to save your questions to the end. This is a very ad hoc kind of performance today. I'll kick it off. Wolfgang, the floor is yours. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this DeLorean session from your club. I'm very thankful about this. Well, yeah, here you see, this is our workshop where we fix and repair the DeLorean cars every day. We have a little walk around. Let's start with the, well, of course, with the normal places. Here we work especially on the tire system and the suspension system. And this car, we put in one of these GW suspension systems. Weeks ago, we sent some to the States, so I hope you will have the chance sometimes to drive a car with this one. This is our big car lift. On this car lift, we make the alignment. I think Tiffany likes this car very well. This is a very, very tiny and small going car. This is an AutoSam AC1. AutoSam is a brand from Mazda, the Japanese company. And AutoSam is a brand for the very, very tiny and small cars. There is one kind of car in Japan. They call it Kayadosha. This are these very tiny cars. And in this Kayadosha series, they build one car with the gullwing doors, and this is the AC1 from AutoSam. Well, you see, there's no steering wheel on this side because it's a right-hand drive in case of the Japanese rule and the Japanese traffic. So the guys drive on the right side. I take the camera with me. In the back, you see an engine. It's a little like American engine. It's just a 0.66 engine. It's a 3-cylinder from Suzuki with a turbocharger, and it runs with about 70 horsepower, but this is really enough for a so little tiny and light car like this. Well, what's next? Oh, well, yeah, here's a customer car, Triumph. This is Ferrari. The Ferrari, this is our own Ferrari, but we don't have time to work on our own cars. That's a little problem because always the client's cars, the customer cars, have priority number one because our customers want to drive their cars and they love the cars, and so there is so less time to work on their own cars. But I think that's the same problem as every mechanics all over the world have. So next, well, these are normal client cars. We work on them. This car, we make something with the automatic transmission and the regular service and the oil changing and so on. And this car gets a little more. This is a bigger thing. It gets, of course, everything from the whole the water pipes, the fuel system completely new, every rubber new. The frame is we removed the rust and we painted it, and yes, and so on and so on and so on. It's a big thing. This car is owned by a guy up from 1982. And from 1982, he bought this in Germany in 1982. This is very, very rare. But this guy has no chance in the last 39 years to get a real professional service. And so the car is not in a very good condition, or it was not in a good condition when he came to our house. Well, but now it's here and we can take care of it and can fix and repair everything on this car. Well, what's next? Interesting. This is one of our islands. We have islands. This is our electric island. Why island? Because we can move this, and we have everything we need in cases of electrical things on this place. Every connectors, every cable, every tools, and so on and so on. And so here, this is our DeLorean Island. This is funny. This yeah, I love this very well, because always when we did a special shop on a DeLorean, we take this island and put it with us. And so here we have all the special parts, you know, about this little screws, you know. Yeah, everyone searched this screw in black. Yeah, a lot of cars came with silver ones, but we like it in black, or no one likes this. No, is there anybody who likes this? Who likes to change this?
No, it looks like a real pain in the butt.
Yes, it's a really painful job. Well, we do this on both cars. Both cars have the problem with the exhaust, but well, for us it's routine. You know, it's our all-day business. For make this, we have a very.
So Wolfgang, I have to ask. I don't spend a lot of time in automotive shops. It's not my thing. But those islands are very intriguing to me. It's a very cool idea. Those are something that you custom put together yourself, or is that something that's common in auto shops? I've never seen that before.
Well, these islands are built by ourselves. Okay. I saw this before in the automotive industry. I had the chance to visit the factories of BMW. I was at Mercedes, at Porsche, and at MAN. They built these big trucks here in Germany. It's very close to us. And at their production line, they have islands like this. Well, they are very specified for their needs, yeah. But so I saw this and I think, hey, this is a good idea, because before we had this, we always have to go into the storage for pick up only one screw, you know. And now all these things we regularly need are now on this island here. We save a lot of walkway, you know, so we can work a lot more efficiency than before.
That's a very great idea.
Mm-hmm. We talk about this, you call it, I think, a pain in the ass job. Do you have any idea what's this?
Exhaust stud removal jig?
This is especially for make this pain in the ass job, yeah, and because you can screw this on the engine, yeah, and here inside you can drill exactly in the middle of the broken bolt, yeah, and so you don't destroy this aluminum cylinder head, yeah, because you really only drill exactly in the middle, and so you can put out the rest of the bolt, yeah, and can repair the drill. What's the word? Drill?
Threads, yes.
The drill, okay. So you can repair the drill and can put in your M7 stud and everything is fine, yeah. And so you don't have to destroy your cylinder head. Sometimes cars came and the guys tried to drill it out, and they don't drill out the bolt, they drill into the aluminum, because the aluminum is much more softer than the steel from the bolt, you know. And this is a special tool that you don't get in trouble, that your drill goes into the aluminum. And so on and so on. So we have a lot of special tools for DeLorean here. Well, of course, you see, this is our main business. Main business is DeLorean. Here in this area, this is our project area. In this area, we always work on the special cars and the project cars, because we can keep the cars here and we can let them on displays, and no one needs this car lift for anything else, yeah. And so I think next week we can bring this together again. This is the Pilot 21 chassis or body. I think it's a body, we call it chassis, and over there is the Pilot 21 frame. Pilot 21 is one of the projects. Tiffany asked me about it. I bought this car years before, and now we are close to the end of the restoration. And the very funny thing is that Chris Nicholson from England, I'm sure the most of the DeLorean owners remember or recognize Chris Nicholson. He's the guy with the stainless brush. Yes, I think the most of you know them. And he owned Pilot 19. And now at the moment, we bring back both cars in a good shape and good condition, and want to bring them back on the road. So he makes his work in England, and I make my work here in Germany, but we are very well connected, and we talk together, and we send pictures to each other and find out what kind of leather, what kind of screws, what kind of clamps, and so on. It is very funny. It's a very good project between Chris and me, between England and Bavaria. Our depot, it's in principle storage where we store the cars, but only the cars where we are working in the next upcoming days or weeks, because it's always come in and come out. Yeah, here this is our regal. This is our, it's a storage. We staple the cars. See here in the back, we have this car lift, this forklift, and with the forklift, this is our Hulk. Say hello, Hulk. Hello, Hulk. And so we can put the cars on this carrier. Maybe it's right before when they go out with the World Tour car. We can put the car on this carrier and take the carrier's forklift and bring it back into this storage. So we can use this place more efficiency. Yeah.
Do you store the cars usually just during the winter, the colder months, or do you store them longer than that for a lot of people? Like how long when they bring them to you, how long do you typically store a car for?
It typically is that the guys bring the car and we fix the car, and then they have no chance to pick them up in course of winter time, or now at the moment in course of the virus, you know. So here over there, this covered car is from Swiss. The work is done and the invoice is paid, but the guy cannot come from Switzerland to Germany at the moment. So we keep the car here in our storage. Yeah. Or the car over this, the second car, it's finished with the work. We finished the whole work, but at the moment I cannot drive outside because it's snowing. It's very cold outside. We have salt on the roads. In Bavaria, there's a lot of salt in winter time because we have the most time below zero, and so there's a lot of salt on the street. And I don't want to drive a DeLorean on the road when it's salted, you know. And so the car is ready for make the last test drive and for give it back to the customer. But the customer don't need it now. He want to have it for springtime, and so here it's very good storage inside. Well, and on the other side, the red one, this is my private Lotus Esprit. It's a Esprit on the first series. And well, this car was in another storage over there because we have directly beside this rooms, we have another big storage for cars. But over there, it's in the storage and I never see it. And this is not good because for me, this is really a beauty. And now I can see it every day. And that's good for me. It's only good for the soul, you know. It's not important, but it only stands because I like it. Well, and over this is a second World Tour car. It's from Andre from Oldenburg. And on the top, this is our red. We call this. It's a red one with this white circles on it. This is a project car. We make this with our apprenticeships. I think this is right. Thank you. Apprenticeship. And well, this is for show the young guys how to work on the DeLorean, you know. That's it.
Oh, is that a vinyl wrap? Is that a vinyl wrap that's on that car? The one at the top?
Yeah. Well, I try to make the camera a little higher. The red car, it's red. It's one of this, I think, don't want to say famous, but I don't have another English word, from this Beverly Hills Car Club cars. And yes, it's exactly in that condition you expect when you hear the Beverly Hills Car Club. It was unbelievable, this car. Rusty. I never saw a car before that was so rusty like this. It was rusty inside of the doors. Yeah, it is unbelievable. Well, but It's red. It's red painted, but the paint is not very high quality. But we make this car. Our apprenticeships work on the car. The car is running, and then we can make this German TÜV. This is the license that you can drive on the road. Yeah, and the car is running. The car is working, but it don't look very good. And so we make this white surface on the car from vinyl, only to make it a little nicer. Yeah, but in the upcoming years, we want to bring the car back in very good condition, so our apprenticeship can work every winter on the car. So in this year, we want to put out the frame, and they can make the frame new. And so next winter we can make interior. Next winter we can make the outer shape, you know, the body, and then the new paint job and so on. And then at the end of this time, I'm sure this will be a very, very nice and wonderful DeLorean. We had the idea to drive around the world with the DeLorean. And well, at the end of the day, we make this trip with 3 cars. First, we had to choose which kind of car we want to take. At first, we think about using our own DeLorean, because every one of us has our own beautiful DeLorean. But make a trip around the world with a beautiful classic car, this is not so easy, I think. And we do not want to destroy one of these beautiful, wonderful World Tour cars, classic cars. And so we decide to look for very, very bad shaped DeLorean. And there were some guys in America, I think Kirk Brendan was one of them, and he found 2 of the cars and I found 2 other cars. And so we bought 4 DeLorean with automatic transmission for this DeLorean World Tour project. And we restore these cars, yes, from the ground, because it was in an absolute horrible shape, these cars. If you have the chance to watch the video I placed on the Facebook site, I think you can get your own impression in how bad shape this car was. But again, we do not want to destroy a wonderful and beautiful classic car. So well, this is one of the World Tour cars. This is my personal World Tour car. With this one, I drove around the world from 1915. We started in September 1915, and we finished 1916 in May. And the finish was Eurofest in Belfast. I'm sure the most of you remember the Eurofest. This is this big meeting. It runs every 5 years in Dunmurry, Belfast, Northern Ireland. And our target was to make the trip around the world within 9 months and finish at the Eurofest. And of course, we did it. We did it. I'm sure the most of you remember 10 years ago when you talk about the DeLorean, all the people, well, of course, in Europe, in Germany, when you say, I drive a DeLorean, it's like, oh my goodness, it never drives, it's always burning, and it's always make noises, and it's always steaming, and so on. And this was the image of the DeLorean in the last 20 years. And I think with the DeLorean World Tour, we can do a little good to the reputation of the car. And a lot of DeLorean owners now trust their cars a little more than before. And this is good to know for us, you know. So that was one of the reasons why we make this tour, to show, yes, the car is good. Yeah, the car is not a problem. A lot of modifications here, yes, but it's still a DeLorean. We have the DeLorean engine, we have DeLorean transmission, and we have the DeLorean body, and we have the DeLorean windscreen, and so on. But there are so many things modified. It starts first look you have on the wheels. We have steel rims with 16-inch. We don't use aluminum in case of damages, because when I have a steel rim and it gets damaged, I can fix it with a hammer or with whatever. Yeah, but when an aluminum rim is broken, it's broken. Yeah, I cannot fix it. If I are anywhere outside in the desert, I have no chance to fix an aluminum wheel. But the steel rim is always fixable. 16-inch, there's a reason why we go with 16-inch tires, because we drive on run-flat tires. Run-flat tires, I'm sure you know this in America too. This is very popular in Germany. BMW use it, Mini use it, and so on and so on and so on. A lot of brands use it up from the factory. And I like it very well because when you're on this kind of trip we make and you have a problem with the tire, you don't have to stop immediately. Yeah, you can go with the cars to any safe place, to a place in the shadow or something, and can fix your problem without any stress. Because with normal tires, when you have a problem, you have now a problem. Immediately in this moment, you have the problem. And the surround plate tires, of course, maybe you have a problem, but it's not so hard, yeah. So we had it only one time in Bulgaria. We had a screw into one of the tires, and in the cars are tire pressure monitoring systems, and they show you, hey, here's the problem, you lose pressure. And so it was in my car, I saw this, I can give information to the other guys, like, hey guys, we have to stop because I want to check my tire. And so we can make 2, 3, 4 kilometers, and then there was a petrol station. We go out of the petrol station very easily, no stress, no problem, and we can fix the tire and we can go ahead. That's very easy. That's the reason why we go with this 16-inch and front flip tires. I hope it's not too it's not too technical for you. Yeah?
No,
if anyone
no,
I think it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I think it makes sense. You have to know, I'm only the car mechanic, you know. I never before drove around the world, and I never want to drive around the world. My main impulse was not to drive around the world. I only want to build cars they can drive around the world. Yeah, this is my motivation, or this was my motivation. But at the end of the day, we need guys who drive the cars, and so yeah, friends come together and we make this trip around the world. But that was not my first motivation to drive around the world. My main motivation still and always is fixing and repair cars. This is my world. I love it. I'm the mechanic and this is my thing. But the world tour, well, it's a side effect. It's a collateral damage or whatever. Call it whatever.
I wouldn't say collateral damage. Side effect, yes, but I don't think there was any damage. I think it's an absolutely incredible story that you guys put together. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had a good time. We had a lot of fun, yeah.
Hi, I'm Brendan. How much of a lift did you put on the car? How many more centimeters higher than the standard ride? Looks like it's riding.
Oh. Just a moment, I pick up a meter. I have a meter here. I check it at the rear of a normal DeLorean. I go to the center and to the 68, yes. 68. So 68, this is the normal DeLorean here, 68. And we are in 75 on the rear. Yeah. Well, but the lift is a little higher because the tires are higher than the tires on the normal DeLorean. We lift the cars up rear and front. The KW, this is the German brand of suspension systems. They built, they make a special suspension system for the World Tour cars in cause of this higher suspension. But it's not only done with putting in the longer dampers and longer springs. Because if you only do this, you have a lot more problems because your rear wheels don't are not in line, yeah, because they make this. The angle gets wrong. And the next thing is when you only put it higher, all the rubbers in the rear get too much torque, yeah, and that's the reason why. If this is the housing of your wheel bearing, the housing, and this is the trailing arm, yeah. And if you go higher, you have this. But if the housing rotates, all the rubbers, yeah, rotates too. And so we have to change the location of the housing in cause of this higher angle of the trailing arm, yeah. And the levers, we have the the lever up and the lever down in the rear suspension system. The upper lever is different with another measuring that we have the right angle. This is very, very important to have this right angle because we don't want to change the tires every 4,000 or 5,000 miles. You know, we need an absolutely perfect alignment. Well, why higher? Of course, we have to go higher because the streets, the roads are sometimes horrible. In India, we have very, very bad bad highways and roads, and in other countries too. And we want to go through Monument Valley, and Monument Valley, normally you go with a pickup truck or with a four-wheel drive, yeah. But we go through Monument Valley with our DeLorean, and we don't only go on these normal roads because we have one of the we have a guy. He was located there. He lives there, and he go on on other roads, not the normal tourist roads. We saw a lot of Monument Valley, but not only the tourist roads. And so we need this higher clearance between the floor of the car and the ground. The spare wheel, this is the next point, because when you have 16-inch front and rear, we only need one spare wheel. This then this makes sense, yeah. We have a spare wheel with a run flat tire too, but we do not need them. But we have them with us if happened anything that we have for every car one rim and one tire separately, but we don't need it on the whole tour. Yeah. This is this is one of the part where a lot of people ask, no, this is not a flux capacitor, no, this is not a salad bowl. This is on Cyclone Filter. In cause of the dirt and dust in the deserts and of course in India and these dirty roads and so on. And this cyclone filter put out all the sand and the flies and so from the air. And so the normal regular paper filter can work. Yeah. Oh yeah, and here down. Maybe you don't see it. We have different exhaust systems. Because you know, the regular exhaust system has the problem that we have this the muffler in the back, and the heat of the muffler always brings trouble with the bearings of the air condition V-belt and with the sealing of the camshaft. And so with this system, we don't have this heat in the rear of the engine. These systems are custom made by a exhaust guy from Germany, and he built this for our World Tour cars. Well, a lot of things are custom made. The suspension system is custom made, the rims are custom made, the exhaust system is custom made, and so on and so on and so on. So much things are custom made. But at the end of the day, we was happy about all these modifications. So because we can make the trip around the world, and every day we reach our target, we get not in trouble, everything is fine. Yeah, we have different seats. Well, of course, they look like DeLorean seats, and in shape, they are DeLorean seats, because we tried different kinds of seats. We take seats from Recaro and from other European brands, but we don't, we are not happy with any other seat. And all the guys from the team say, no, the DeLorean seat is the best seat. But the leather is not so comfortable when you make this long trip. And so we take the DeLorean seat, the original seat, but we put on another skin. Our settler put on a microfiber, I hope this is right, microfiber skin, and we have a heating system into the seat. But this is the original DeLorean seat. It's a DeLorean shape, but with this microfiber, you don't have the problem to slip down, because I'm not so big, you know, I'm 1.67 meters something, yeah. And when I sit in the car, I always have the problem that I slip a little. Not in the first 10 minutes, but when you go in 1 hour or 1.5 hours, and anytime you slip, and you always must make this, and you slip, and so on. And this microfiber seat, you sit in with your denim jeans, and you don't slip. You sit, and this is great. This is really great. Yeah. Here you see the seats we talk about. And yeah, well, a lot of very small and tiny things. Here up, we have this strip. And this strip, this is only a rubber, but it's great when you have these Autobahn tickets or park tickets or so. You can put it inside and you always have it by your hand when you need it. Then, oh yeah, we go with power steering. The car drives with power steering. Here on the left side, this is the tire pressure managing and monitoring system. Then let's go in. Here we have a GPS navigation system. This is one additional clock. We always have the home time on this clock, and here this is the gauge for the auxiliary fuel tank in the front. This is the main switch. This main switch off everything. It's not only a switch for battery. It switch off the battery and it disconnected the fuel pump, and it brings mass on the complete ignition system. So when you switch off this, the car is really stopping, whatever happened. We don't need it, that's good, but when you need it, it's good to have. Well, we have a cruise control system. We have the CB radio, yeah, to talk to the other guys. We have USB for charge any devices, and here over there I have a charger for my camera accumulators. This is very interesting. This is a part of the Himalaya switch. It's called funny Himalaya switch. This is our Himalaya switch. This one called Himalaya switch. Well, because when you go on the mountains and you go higher than 3,500 meters, the problem is that the Lambda system from the DeLorean cannot work with this if you are too high. When you live in an area that's high, that's no problem because you made the major adjustment and then you never get in trouble. Then you can go 4,500, 5,000 meters, that's not a problem. But when the car are regular adjusted on the on 1,000 meter, or here in Germany we have 600 meters. So this Lambda system stopped to work up from 3,500 meters. We see this here. This is our Lambda control monitor. This small one here is the Lambda control monitor, and we see when it's not working correct, we can switch the Himalaya switch, and then we can adjust our regular pressure here by hand. So when we go into the Himalaya, when we go higher, we switch the Himalaya switch on, and we can adjust the regular pressure and can look on the monitor, and then the engine is running perfect and gets the perfect measuring between air and fuel. That's the Himalaya switch.
So I noticed that the car is an automatic. Was there a reason that are all three of the World Tour cars automatic? Is there an advantage to having that for the type of driving you were doing or the terrain that you were on in some way?
Well, yes, the World Tour cars are automatic. Some reasons. First reason, it's comfortable to drive an automatic transmission. I think here in the States, for you, it's normal to drive an automatic transmission. In Europe, it's not so popular, or it was not so popular. But first thing, it's comfortable. The second thing, it's easy to clean and it's easy to cool an automatic transmission. And the next thing is all over the world you find workshops and guys say fix and repair automatic transmission, and the spare parts for the automatic transmission are very easily to get, or sealing, everything you can get very easily. But for the manual transmission, it's not so easy to get the parts, and that's the reason why I prefer the automatic transmission for making this long trip.
So John Loader, there you go. We can use your car since it's an automatic for one of the World Tour cars that we're going to do with our cars. So thanks for donating your car, John.
Sure, I'm glad to help in any way you can.
So Wolfgang, you mentioned before an apprentice that you have. Can you what's the story behind having an apprentice and how does that work?
Oh, okay. Well, this is the German system because in Germany, when you want to be a car mechanic, you can learn this job. When you want to learn this job, when you want to work as a car mechanic, you have to learn the job. You don't can start a business here in Germany. You don't can say, oh, okay, I have a garage and I have tools and I have a car lift and now I fix and repair cars. This is not allowed in Germany. Yeah. So you have to learn this job. And so first you are apprenticeship. After 3.5 years, when you make all your tests and get them positive, you can then you are what's the English word? Well, then you are call it a professional. Then you are a professional, and when you're a professional, you can work on cars. It's allowed, but it's not allowed to do it by yourself in your own garage at home. And then you can get the next step, and you can get a master. And so I'm a master, and here in my workshop we have 2 masters and 2 professionals and 1 apprenticeship. And when you're a master, you can work on the cars for other people. Yeah, this is the way in Germany. I think in America it's a little different. In America you can decide, okay, today I'm a car mechanic, and then you can fix and repair cars, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why we have a lot of bad mechanics in America.
Okay. Maybe this is one of the reasons, yeah.
Yeah, yes, it is.
You said you have a CB radio in there, but I didn't see an obvious antenna. Where did you hide that, or is it just not on it?
The antenna. This is the antenna for the CB radio. Yeah.
Okay.
The antenna, it's only laid down because of the storage, because when I'm in the storage, I have to lay it down. But normally it's here 1 meter high, and so it works. Well, we have the CB radio. We have an amplifier with the CB radio. Amplifier that we can talk together in long distances. Yeah.
Wolfgang, I have a question. What kind of modifications did you do to the electrical system of your cars before you made the world tour?
Oh, a lot, because we have all these modifications, and only switch off the ignition. And for all these modifications, we need a safe power. Yeah, and so on the right side, you saw this additional gauge for the auxiliary fuel tank, and beside of this are a lot of cables and relays and fuses and so on. And this is for handle all these additional electric systems. We made a lot of things brand new. The most of the connectors are brand new. The relays are brand new. We have different fuse boxes. We don't use the original DeLorean fuse box. We use some from a German brand called Hella, so that we don't get in trouble with any normal DeLorean things, because sometimes we had problem with a fuse with the original fuse box in the past, or with original relays and so on. And that's the reason why we make this all brand new. So,
is that the reserve tank in your front trunk?
In the front?
Yes.
The front. This is the auxiliary fuel tank. We have two fuel systems, and 2 absolute separately fuel systems. That will say we have the original tank in the car, like your DeLorean, with the same pump and the same tubes and so on. and we have this auxiliary fuel system. And the auxiliary fuel system is absolutely separated from the original system. So we have a second pump, we have a second fuel accumulator, we have a second filter, we have a second pre-filter, and so on. And so we have this system. In this car, it's about 124 liters with this system, and in the regular system, we have 55 liters, like your DeLorean. It's the same fuel tank than you have. And so we can go more than 1,000 kilometers. And this was the challenge when I construct the system, yeah, because we want to go more than 1,000 kilometers in course of Australia, because in Australia there are roads you don't have. In Australia roads you don't have a petrol station or something for around 1,000 kilometers, and that's the reason why we make the cars for making this 1,000 kilometers.
Was the driving characteristics very different with all that much weight on the front suspension?
Yes, it's very different, and but it's very funny that that it drives like a car, and I think like a normal car. You know, the car weighs around 1.6 tons when we start. Additional driver, yeah, so 1,620 kilograms. And so that's the reason why we have this reinforced suspension system, yeah. And now we have the power steering, and we have this modern wheels and 16-inch front and rear, the same size of wheels, and so we don't get in trouble with the feeling of driving, you know, because it really drives like a normal car. It runs perfectly straight. Yeah, it's not work to drive. It's very easy going. It's very, very easy to drive the car. Yeah.
Wolfgang, how did you first get involved in DeLoreans?
When I first time get involved with DeLoreans, oh, this is funny. I was 12 years old. It was 1980, and my teacher, he gave me an auto catalog. It's called auto catalog, and in this auto catalog there was all the new cars for 1981. All these cars were in this catalog, and well, I was 12 years old, you know, and there was a very, very big enthusiasm of cars, and so I learned this catalog, and I can tell you everything about the cars in this catalog. And at page 24 there was the car from Northern Ireland. It was the DeLorean. They talk about the DeLorean. There was a picture for the DeLorean and the text, and there was 1,200 cars in this catalog, but I'm only interested in the DeLorean because the stainless steel guarding doors, they talk about the mid-engine in this paperwork, but we all know it's the rear engine now. But I was so impressed from this, and up from this day I collect every piece of paper I could find with the word DeLorean on it. And this was not so easy because in these times there was no internet or so, yeah. Well, but that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the DeLorean stainless steel influence.
And when did you make the decision to make this your career, to work on the cars? Like, when did that occur?
Well, I always want to be a car mechanic, but when I was 15 and I have to learn a job and be apprenticed, there was no chance to get a place to get a car mechanic. So at first I learned a different job. I learned a job, I think it's called pipe fitter in the States.
Yes.
So pipe fitter. It's welding and working with pipes and so on. It was okay. It was a nice job in a good company, but I always want to be a car mechanic. And so after my apprenticeship and my professionally in pipe fitter, I finished all this correctly with my tests and so on. But then I make a second apprenticeship as a car mechanic, and then I learned the job of a car mechanic, and well, the rest is history. Yeah, car mechanic, professional, master, workshop. That's it.
Awesome, fantastic.
Hey, Wolfgang. My name's also Hank. 5 or 6 years ago, I sold my DeLorean to a gentleman in Germany, and I think in Frankfurt. And I was wondering if you ever came across the car 1619. His name was Dennis.
Dennis. Well, maybe. I don't have the list now here with the VIN numbers, and maybe I work on his car sometimes. But you have to know we have about 600-700 DeLorean here in Germany, and we have a little more than 300, 350, 360 different VIN numbers of cars they came to our workshop. So sorry, I don't have every VIN number in my mind. Yeah, but I have to say, Hank, in Germany, some DeLorean owners, they came to our workshop and we fixed the cars, repaired the cars, but a lot of them are really very impressive do-it-yourself guys. Yeah, a lot of them work by themselves on the cars. Last week I had a good telephone call with a guy. He's a dentist, a very good dentist, a very successful dentist. He earns a lot of money, have a very wonderful shop and make it tooth thing, you know. But in his free time, he restore a DeLorean. And this guy don't come to our workshop. This guy come and he buys sometimes parts or something. Well, there are two things. I'm sure he will bring us the car for this. He told me this first. This is a job on the doors. Yeah, because the door adjustment is not always so easy. Then you need a new windscreen, and it's not so easy to put in a windscreen correctly. And on the injection system is a little difficult too. Yeah. So, but the rest he can all do by himself. I'm sure a lot of your club members are do-it-yourself guys too, and I'm always impressed. Some of them really make wonderful, great job. Yeah. Well, okay, some of them are not so talented for this, but a lot of them are really pretty good. I talk about the injection system, and we make a lot of work on the injection system. We have this part here. Yeah, this is crazy. I like this very well. And on this place, we can check out the whole injection system of the DeLorean. Yeah, we say here you have a complete DeLorean injection system. It's up from the fuel pump, the filter. There's a pre-filter. There's the accumulator. Here is the fuel distributor, the injection valves, and so on. Here we can check the warm-up regulator. We can warm up this plate, and so we can check out if everything is okay. So when a client have a problem with this injection system, well, the most of the tests you make inside of the car, and you can check inside of the car. But sometimes we only have parts. You bring a part and say, Wolfgang, what's up with this part? And so on this station, I can check all these parts, and we can make all the measurings and so on. And this is very nice. I like this very well. It's very efficiency. It's very efficiency to make tests here on this machine. And this is self-made too. Yeah.
Have you had any customer request a translucent paint job?
Customer request of transmission?
No, it's a see-through color paint, translucent. So you paint the fender, but the paint is clear, but it has a slight color tint.
Ah, okay, yes. This is a part of the golden DeLorean thing. Maybe you remember. Yes. We had this golden DeLorean, and on the golden DeLorean, we want to keep the brushing. We want to keep the look on the brushing. But yep. Tiffany, I think you saw the golden DeLorean because two guys from San Francisco, they drove this car at one of the club meetings, and so
yeah,
you saw it live.
Yeah, it's a shame you got rid of it.
Well, but now it's the new owners. They love the car, and I'm sure they are more worth to own a golden DeLorean than me, because in my ownership, I don't drive the car. I build the car and I make everything perfect on the car, but I don't drive the car. Well, but
that's good. It goes to someone who appreciates it and takes care of it.
So
yeah.
Was it a translucent paint job or was it gold plated?
No, it's not gold plated. We called it leisure Is this an English word too? This is a very thin paint.
Right.
Yeah, Laser, Lasur, Laser, we call it in Germany.
A lacquer. It was a translucent lacquer. Yes.
Yeah, well, but the secret is not the lasher. The secret is is another thing. The secret is to take care that this paint, this lasher, keeps
adheres to
on the stainless
steel. Yes.
That you have the connection to the stainless steel. This is the big secret, because we need a special ground between the laser and the stainless steel. Because if you brush paint on stainless steel, you know what happened. Nothing happened. Yeah, you can take your thumbnail and you can put it away. But there was a guy close to Dresden, and he's a painter and a chemical, and he make this clear coat for the stainless. So at first he sprayed with this clear coat on the stainless, and it's only clear. Clear means you see all the brushes, you see everything, and then we put on the laser on it, and then we put a clear coat. It's not high gloss, it's matte. It's English word.
Oh, to make it look like gold.
Yes, yeah, of course, matte, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you have this golden optic, but when the sun is coming on the stainless, you still see the stainless. But I think you really have to see this live. And Tiffany had the luck to see it live, and I still love it. When the car is in the sun, it's amazing. It's still a beauty.
Are you working on any new technical upgrades for DeLorean? I know you've done the power steering thing, but are there any other technical upgrades that you've been looking at doing for the car? Suspension wise, steering other than the stock steering, but anything new for the engine?
No. We work on an electric version, but this is not a new thing, I think, because so many DeLoreans was converted into an electric. The difference in our electric DeLorean will be that it will have all the comfort system you expect in a modern car. So from the power steering, of course, the air condition, heating, power brake servo, and so on, all the modern things. But I take or my philosophy is to keep the car as it is. So yes, we put in new suspension system because there is no really good suspension system on the market. Yeah, and if you buy some spare part, you always get anything from, I don't know, from a 40-year-old stock or from China. Yeah, and that's the reason why we did something different. Yeah, and then when we do something different, we want to make it good. This is this German efficiency thing, you know. Yeah, we don't make it cheap. We are not interested in making cheap. We want to make it perfect. This is our challenge. Yeah, but I'm very happy with the Keychatronic. All the cars we have in our workshop work with the Keychatronic. I have one car with a carburetor, but this car is never really running. Of course, it's running. We keep it running, and we work on the car that it runs, but it don't bring fun, you know. Because for me, a DeLorean has to bring fun. Fun means sit in the car, turn the key, start the engine, and have fun. This is having fun, yeah. And all the others with all this project with carburetor or a cylinder or something like this, or they put in any B turbo, and then they are happy. Hey, great, I have a B turbo, and then you drive along the road and back, and then this problem, that problem, and problem. I'm not a problem guy. Yeah, I want to drive the car. For me, it's important that the cars are working. Yeah, and that they bring fun. Yeah.
Have you given any thought to retrofitting variable valve timing on the car, on the engine?
No, why? Why? There's no reason why. When I want to drive a car with a variable valve timing, I buy a Honda, or I buy a Toyota, or buy a BMW. They have perfect systems, you know. But why in a DeLorean? For me, it makes no sense. I have a lot of respect to people. They do things like this. I have a lot of respect to people. They put in a Corvette 8-cylinder in this car, and they saw amazing solutions. When we was in America, I don't remember the name at the moment, but this guy put in, I think it was in Florida, and he put in a LS1, isn't it?
Right.
LS1?
Yeah, that's Nicholas. Yeah, he's down in Florida.
Nicholas, and it's so detailed and so perfect. It's amazing to do this, and I only can raise my hand.
Tip your cap to him.
Yeah.
Wonderful work, but this is not my way to work on the car, you know. It's his way, and I respect this. It's wonderful, it's great for him, but and my way is a little different. Yeah, I try to keep the cars in a original and in a reliable shape. This is important for me, that the cars are running and working. But his car, it's his project, and it's so great and amazing, and it's so important that we have guys like this guy to bring the car always in the how can I say, that the people always see the car, and now, oh, something new, now an 8-cylinder, something new, now an Rich Weissenseel monster truck. I never will build a monster truck, but it's great that we have one in the community. Yeah, it's funny, that's great. So I'm not this original guy that say, oh, everything is bad, only original is good. No. No, I have a lot of respect of all these guys and all the powers they put in the cars, yeah. But for myself, I think I don't want to put in an LS1 or a BMW 8-cylinder into my private DeLorean. No, this is not my way.
Wolfgang, I've got a question regarding the suspension on the KWs. Do you like the idea of having the rubber shock mounts put on there, or do you go strictly without the original rubber pads?
You have to put them in. You have to leave them in. That don't work without them. Okay. Because if you don't put them in, we have here one car with the system. Mm-hmm. If you put them out, or if you leave them out, problem number one is that the car is not go high enough. Yeah, you cannot adjust it on this drill as much as you need. And the second one is that you have a lot of horrible noises. Yeah, you have a lot of horrible noises when you don't use the rubber. Here is, I think you talk about this rubber. Is
yes.
I just pick up a light. You have to put it in, and it's here. This rubber, yeah.
Correct.
Okay, you have to leave it. That's really important, and it's constructed like this. This is the KW system they built for us in this black silver. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and great. if you buy it anywhere, I think you can buy this in the States, and then it's in yellow purple. Yeah, these are the typical KW colors. Yeah, right. But we make the development years ago with KW and spend a lot of time and energy and pay a lot of money for this to bring it road legal on the road. And so, in loyalty to this, KW make the suspension system in black silver to us, for us, especially for our shop. It's nice from them. Yeah. Good.
Wolfgang, not including the World Tour cars, what was the biggest challenge you had in the workshop?
The biggest challenge? A very big challenge, it was to bring our racetrack car legal on the racetrack. That was a very big challenge. We own a racetrack DeLorean, and when you want to drive on a racetrack with a Porsche, with a BMW or whatever, you can buy every part you need. You can buy a suspension system. You can join the color of a suspension system if you have a BMW or if you have a Porsche or a Mercedes. Yeah, you can buy a cage. You can buy a steering wheel. You can buy seat consoles. You can buy rims. You can buy different kind of brakes. Everything you can buy. But when you want to make a racetrack car out of a DeLorean, you can buy zero. You can buy nothing. Everything you need, everything you want, you have to develop, and you have to make an individual fabrication only for this one car. Yeah, and when you want to have it legal, it's not always funny, because first you go to a guy who builds cages and he builds a cage for your car. And then you say, hey, great, I have a cage, but now I want to have a certificate for my cage. Because when you want to go legal on a road track, on a racetrack, you need a certificate for the cage. Then you build a second cage for destroy this cage. And if the destroying is okay, then you get a certificate. And if not, you build a third cage. And so this makes it very, very expensive to build a legal racetrack car out of a DeLorean. But yeah, we did it with everything, with special rims, a special brake system, with the cage, with everything, with a steering wheel adapter, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, this was a very big challenge. Yeah, and if you ask me why I did it, I have no idea. Because
you took it to the Nurburgring, right?
Yeah, we was at the Nurburgring, we was at the Hockenheimring, we was at all this famous German and Austrian racetracks. On the Salzburgring, we was every year on the Salzburgring with the car for 2 times, and we had a lot of fun. Well, this you never win any race because these are only classic and historical races. Yes, of course, you look who is a little faster, and then he's not so fast, and we are okay. We are happy with the performance and so on, but you never win anything. Yeah, it's and another big challenge is this workshop. This workshop here was a big challenge. This was one of my biggest projects in my life, and it's very specialized for DeLorean. But this is one of the biggest things. Okay. Yes. Any other questions?
What was your brake setup for the world cars and also for your race car?
These setups are completely different. The racetrack car have a race brake from a company. It's an Italian company, and they are specialized in building brakes for race cars, for Ferrari, for Porsche, for BMW, and so on. And they make the construction to our DeLorean brake. I don't have the measurings in the head, but it's a very big brake. That's the reason why we need bigger tires. We have 17-inch rims on the car to bring in this big brake with 4-cylinder calipers and so on. And it's not only a big brake; it's special made for this car with the weights, the front and rear axle and so on. Yeah, this is not only putting a big brake and that's it. In the market, there are some other brakes for DeLorean, and I'm wondering how they will work, because when you have this normal levers and this normal stabilizer and this normal construction of the front axle and put in a very, very strong brake, this cannot work together. Yeah, every guy, every engineer can tell you that this will never work really good. Yeah, and in the racetrack car, this is a complete system. Yeah, it's not only different brake, it's we have different stabilizer and so on and so on. The complete front axle is different. It's a racetrack car, you know. Well, and at the World Tour cars, the brake is very similar to the original brake, but we have vented discs, and we use this big Ford Granada calipers. Yeah, that's all. It's very easy. Well, we have different the connectors between the hub and the rotor are custom made, constructed by us and engineered by us. The brake discs are original for Toyota. They're built by Brembo, but they are constructed for Toyota. But we modified them with a separate part, and so we can put it into the DeLorean. That works very well. Yeah. And in Germany, World Tour car, in Germany, you need for everything you change, you need a stamp. This is the German TÜV. You need a certification for everything. Yeah, we have certification for the exhaust system. We have certification for brake system, for the tires, for the rims, for the wheels, for the suspension, and so on. This is a very big paperwork. In the rest of the world, no one cares about this. But if you get in trouble in Germany, if you have an accident in Germany, you need all these stamps and all this paperwork. And this makes it, a little expensive to make all these things, because we cannot go into the workshop and say, hey, hooray, let's put in a new brake system. You can do it, of course, but if anything happened out there and the bleeding kid is dying beside the street, if you understand what I mean, then you have a problem, because then you go to the courthouse and there will be a lawyer, and this guy will ask you why you use a brake system. This is not certified. And then you get really in trouble. And that's the reason why everything we put in the cars has this German stamp and certifications. German system. Let's have a walk. So this is direction our diner. Here, this is the settler area. Here we have all these parts from the settler, seats, dashboards, steering wheels. I love the steering wheel. Yeah. So, and this is the stairway to heaven. This is the stairway to the Dealerstübel, the stairway, the lights, stairway to heaven, and the stairway to the piano lounge. This means Dealerstübel. And here in this room, we have all the Back to the Future things, the pinball, Back to the Future. This is an Pachinko, with a Japanese game. Then, yeah, well, I think every one of you have all these Hot Wheels and so on. This is strictly DeLorean. No Back to the Future. Well, this is the piano lounge. Yeah, and of course, there's a piano in the piano lounge. That's the sense of this room. And here we have some of the golden DeLorean things. This is a center console from a golden DeLorean. These are real gold-plated wheel nuts.
That's cool.
And models and watches.
What watch is that, Wolfgang? Just out of curiosity.
The DeLorean watches. They call DeLorean. This is a brand from Munich, from Germany, and it's called DeLorean.
Wow.
And they have a lot of different watches in a wonderful quality with a glass back, and you see how it works inside. It's just really amazing. It's really, really wonderful watches. You can find them on eBay Germany all the time. Yeah, and they're not so expensive. Yeah, they worth a lot more than they really cost. Yeah. Yeah. This was our calendar this year. Maybe someone saw this because every day we open the doors of the calendar, Playmobil, and every day we post this on Facebook and on Instagram and on WhatsApp, and so have 24 days with this Playmobil thing. So let's go into the next room. This is our library. In our library, of course, are books. This is not so spectacular. And these books are stored in cases. Cases? Case the right word? Cases.
Yep, that's the right word.
Yeah. Well, and we have, of course, DeLorean books. A lot of DeLorean books. Different DeLorean books with different signatures from. This is one. I'm very happy about. This is from Nick Sutton. This one, and Nick Sutton have the German DeLorean book, and we was in Chicago on a DeLorean car show, and Nick Sutton asked me for signing his German DeLorean book, and this was a big honor for me because I'm only the car mechanic, and Nick Sutton asked me for signing a book. That was a big moment in my life. Yeah, and this is the very big Deloman sign lamp here. And this is a view from our Delo lounge to the workshop. These are all the things you saw down.
What a nice view.
Yes, but I have too less time to stay here on this area because I'm always working on cars. Yeah, and here are some memories. The World Tour. San Francisco, 165 miles. So this was with the DeLorean World Tour team the day we go to San Francisco. Ah, yeah, this is Australia. I think you know what it is. Mm-hmm. And this is our Magnum Corner, yeah, because Magnum it's another thing. We work on the Ferraris and so on, and so we have a little Magnum. And this is a view on the pilot car from the Delo launch.
We'd like to thank you for taking the time from your day, especially late in the evening on a Sunday in Germany, to show us your shop and your projects. We really appreciate it. And we please thank your wife for us as well for sharing your time with us on a Sunday evening. We appreciate that as well. So this was a fantastic tour to have and amazing to see. I definitely was very impressed with everything I've seen prior, and this was no exception. This was great. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Have a good time. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you in the future.
Yes.
Thanks again, Wolfgang. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you.
Bye.